Alright, the hide and the mannequin are completely ready to start mounting, so just going to put this in time-lapse mode because it's going to take a while, and I'm going to mold it over this mannequin, and hopefully I don't have too much trouble. Sometimes it can be tight and I may have to cut a leg or something so I can maneuver it so I can fit the hide over it. If that's the case, you can just bend it back, and that's all fixable with some critter clay. And so we're just going to rub some hide paste all over this and start slipping over the hide, so y'all stay tuned. As I slowly worked the hide over the mannequin, I got all the legs on and realized that the hide was just a little too tight to fit over the head of the mannequin. So what I ended up having to do is cut that mannequin's head off so I could fit the rest of the legs on. Once I managed to do this, I got all the legs on and slipped the mannequin's head back up through the body through the incision in the stomach, replacing it back where it was needed. Once this was done, I cut off the real nose off the raccoon hide, which would be replaced by the artificial nose on the mannequin's head. At this part, I am putting a rod through the mannequin's head into the mannequin's body, holding the head in place, just how I need it to be. Once the head was how I needed it to be, I was able to get my needle and thread and begin the sewing up process. This process takes a while, but you want to make every stitch no more than an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch apart. I worked my way up from the crotch to the neck of the incision. And at this point, my lights go out for a few minutes, but that does not stop me in my taxidermy process. Once the raccoon is fully stitched up, I began working on the face. I started tucking the skin around the eyes and the mouth into the mannequin in the creases I made earlier in the process when prepping the mannequin. As you tuck the mouth and eye skin, you can apply small needles which holds it in place while it dries. The curing time takes about 1 to 2 weeks before you can take the needles out. Once that was all done, I began positioning the raccoon on the barrel. I first set him up there and see where his feet would place on the barrel, and I drilled small holes just big enough for the wire to fit through tightly. When doing this, I kept on adjusting the eyes and the nose, making sure everything was perfect. I slowly adjust every toe, making sure it looks natural, and after positioning the toes, I pin them down with small needles used when I was tucking the skin around the eyes and mouth. Once that process was complete, I began blow drying the raccoon to help fluff up the hide and make him look more normal. This process draws any moisture out of the fur that might have still been in there and gives it a more natural look and just fluffs it up. Once the drawing process is complete, you can begin on moving to the final processes in preserving the toes and the feet, and then it is complete. Well, the last thing there is to do is in the skinning process, if there's anywhere where you couldn't get all the flesh out, you inject with this stuff. It's called Balmex. It was actually used in World War I. It says that it's very effective in preserving, and I used it in my bobcat and other stuff, so I know it works really good. But what we're going to be using it for is just the toes, like just the ends of the toes. I couldn't get all the flesh out the very ends of the toes, so we're just going to inject each toe with this stuff, and it preserves them really good, and it prevents that shrinkage look if you didn't inject it with this. So gotta get a syringe and your Balmex stuff. This is just a quick look at the bobcat I mounted. I am sorry to the viewers that were looking forward to see the mount after seeing my squirrel taxidermy video. I did record it, but the footage accidentally got deleted, so it never made it onto YouTube. Once again, I apologize, but I hope you all enjoyed my video, and I will try to do some more taxidermy as soon as I can. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.